Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Laura, I'm a hairstylist, and today we're going to talk about a very controversial topic between stylists and clients. Should a trim cost less than a haircut? Leave a comment right now before you watch any further and let me know what you think. So I can see both sides to this argument, and if you stay tuned till the end, I will give you a tip to talk to your stylist about how you can get a trim for less than a haircut. Now, it's important that you bring that up in the right way, so make sure you watch the end of this video. Okay, so clients say that a trim should cost less than a haircut because they're getting the same thing and not much hair is being taken off. So in their eyes, this should be much easier to do and take less time. But stylists say that it should cost the same because you're paying for the hair that's left on the head, not the hair that's getting cut off. It still takes the same amount of time to cut the hair, and it still takes the same amount of skill and experience that it took them to be able to cut the hair in that amount of time. Also, something to point out is that men don't ever expect their haircut to cost less because they're only getting a trim, because most of the time they're getting a trim every single time. It's just a haircut to them. So why do women think that they should pay less because they're getting a trim versus a haircut? Many stylists don't charge for their time, they're charging for their experience instead. The way they see it, if they can do a service in less time, it took them years of experience to be able to be skilled enough to do this service in that amount of time. And you're paying for that experience, not the time that it takes them to do it. Also, if there's more hair being left on the head because not as much hair is coming off, then it'll actually take longer to blow dry and style than it would if there was more hair coming off. Blow drying the hair actually takes the most amount of time in the whole haircut service. I actually didn't run across this problem too often because most of my clients got color done and they would just get their haircut at their color service. Now, when a client is getting color and cut as a combined service, I do believe that the haircut should cost less. And there's a number of reasons for this. First of all, I'm only gonna blow dry your hair once when I'm doing color and cut. The blow dry is what takes the majority of the time, and it's also what puts the most strain on our bodies. So if I'm only having to blow dry the hair once as opposed to twice, I do think that it should be less of a charge. Now, I want to make a little side note here and say that you should never ever leave a salon with wet hair without getting your hair blow dried. And this goes for if you're getting color or a cut done. And the reason for this is because you can't fully see the color unless the hair is dry. So you and your stylist both need to make sure that the color is exactly what you want it to be before you walk out that door. The same goes for a haircut. The cut should be checked when it's dry because that's how you're gonna wear your hair. Hair lays differently wet than it does when it's dry. So if you're leaving the salon with wet hair, whether it be from a color service or from a haircut, I recommend finding a more professional stylist. Now, that's just my opinion, and I know some of you will disagree with me, but that's my take. The second reason is when you're getting a combined service like that, it's similar to buying in bulk and getting the cheaper price for buying more things at once. I just think that that's good business and that's how it should be charged. So this means that I personally believe that any hair service that you get should include a blow dry and you shouldn't have to pay extra for it. I know that there are a lot of stylists that charge extra for a blow dry with a color service. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but personally, I don't agree with that. The cost of the blow dry should just be included with the color service. Okay, so now it's time for my take on whether I think a trim should cost less than a haircut should. So personally, I don't believe that the amount of hair that is coming off should change the price of the cut. Even if it's the exact same style, it still takes the same amount of time. Now, like I said before, the thing that takes the most amount of time in a haircut service is the blow dry. So let me share with you how you can get a haircut for a cheaper price because this is how I offered it to my clients. If you come in with clean, straight, dry hair, and I don't have to shampoo it or blow dry it, and I can just do a minimal trim on your dry, clean, straight hair, then it's gonna take me 5 to 10 minutes to cut your hair. So if this is the case, I 100% believe that you should get this for a cheaper price because you're not getting the whole works with it. I offered trims for a lesser price if my client met 5 criteria. Number 1 being this is not your first haircut with me. If this is your first haircut with me, then I want to wet the hair and get all the way through it and put my haircut in your hair. I don't want to be following somebody else's lines. 2 is that it hasn't been more than 12 weeks since your last full haircut. 3, you're requesting half an inch or less off. 4, your hair does not have significant breakage or very straggly ends, meaning we are literally only doing a very minimal maintenance haircut. And the most important, number 5, is that when you come in, your hair is clean, straight, and dry. This means I'm not doing any shampooing or blow drying, so this cut is gonna take me 15 minutes or less. Now, number 5 is the one that trips most people up. They'll come in with their hair in a messy bun on day 5, so it's really greasy, or it's curly and kinked, and I cannot do this without washing and blow drying the hair. So if my clients meet those 5 criteria, then I would allow them to come in for what I called a pretend haircut, which means just a very minimal maintenance trim to keep their hair healthy. I found it was really important and good for me to offer this service because it was giving my clients an option to come in more often to maintain their hair. Whereas if they had to pay full price, they would likely push it out further, which would mean their hair was going to be in worse condition when they came in next. So I thought it was really important to offer this lower price service so that people would come in more often and keep their hair clean and healthy, which is what's most important. So this is how I see both sides of the spectrum, which is why I offer an option for people that fit the criteria to get it for a cheaper price, as well as still charging for the full price services when it's necessary. So if your stylist does not offer a trim price, or in my opinion, a pretend haircut price, then try suggesting this to them and ask them if you came in with clean, straight, and dry hair, if they would just go through and dust the ends of your hair for a lower price. Some may be on board with it, while others may not. And please leave me a comment below and let me know what you guys think on this controversial topic. Thanks for watching and have a good hair day.